Twitter criticism, checking out if there's something on Al Jazeera economy as usual. Something from U.S. elections, U.S. presidential elections. We have a photograph. Despite stark differences on worker rights, unions split on Trump-Harris. And we have a photograph. Union workers are a core voting bloc, especially in some swing states in the U.S. presidential election. Trump has gathered support among union members by tapping into issues that are top of mind of the broader electorate. By Indy Hirschfeld, November 1st, 2 days ago. Early voting is underway across the United States ahead of Tuesday's presidential election. Republican candidate Donald Trump and Democratic candidate Kamala Harris have both made last-minute efforts to court union voters. Core voting bloc, especially in swing states like Michigan, where groups like the United Auto Workers (UAW) have significant sway among the electorate. Vice President Harris has garnered endorsements from important unions across the country, including the UAW, AFL-CIO, and Service Employees International Union. Harris also has the support of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, the union behind the latest Boeing strike. Yeah, this Boeing strike, I don't know how important is this Boeing strike on the US, but I don't get it at all, Boeing, I think is not important. And Aerospace Workers, the union behind the latest Boeing strike, which is now entering its 8th week, like 3 months. Boeing picketers say that if she hits the picket line with them, it could help her win more votes. Meanwhile, former President Trump has also solidified union support limits, though it may be. Members of the Teamsters Union have shown stronger support for the Republican nominee, although the International Brotherhood of Teamsters opted not to endorse either candidate. The union's president, Sean O'Brien, has campaigned with Trump and appeared on conservative-friendly media outlets in support. Trump also received an endorsement from the International Union of Police Associations. It comes despite Trump's false claims about the high rate of crime in American cities, his 34 felony convictions, and his campaign owing cities across the U.S. hundreds of thousands of dollars, much of it from police overtime pay. While Harris has wider support among union members, a 7% lead on Trump, as 50% of union members say they believe Harris' policies will be better for unions than Trump's. The latter has garnered support among union members by tapping into issues that are top of mind for the broader electorate, like immigration. And that was the Congress, like immigration. Quote, Union members who are likely or could support Donald Trump are really not focused on collective bargains or economic power, but issues that have to do with immigration, issues that have to do with a sense of danger because of levels of crime, unquote. Bob Bruno, professor of labor and employment at the University of Illinois Urbana campaign, told Al Jazeera. Despite Trump's success in stoking fear about migrant crime, violent crime in the U.S. has steadily declined during the administration of President Joe Biden. The most recent FBI data shows a 10.3% decline in reported violent crime compared with last year. Al Jazeera analyzed where the candidates stand on key issues important to union workers like collective bargaining and wages. Here's what we found. On organizing, Harris has pretty consistent record of being pro-union and was an original co-sponsor of a key workers' rights bill protecting the right to organize, PRO Act. The PRO Act, which originally was proposed in 2019, will prevent employers from interfering with union elections, allowed for the National Labor Relations Board to hand out financial penalties to companies that violate labor laws and expedite reinstatement of work if workers lose their jobs and result on a strike. As a result of a strike, the bill was reintroduced in 2023, but has not passed the U.S. Congress. Harris said she will sign it into law if elected. And we have a video. We will explore the upcoming U.S. elections and examine the key factors that influence voter decisions. Quote, the Harris campaign is by far the more supportive of organized labor and collective bargaining, and the Trump campaign is outwardly hostile to the idea, Bruno said. J.D. Vance, Trump's running mate, voted against the PRO Act and has been a vocal critic of the legislation. Vance also rejected several Biden administration nominees to the National Labor Relations Board. In 2020, then President Trump threatened to veto the PRO Act if it made it to his desk. The Trump White House also made it harder for workers to organize, including in 2019, when it got rid of a protection implemented during Barack Obama's presidency that allowed workers to use company emails to organize. Quote, when it comes to Trump, his presidency was an absolute disaster for working people and for union members. His entire terms was doing the bidding of corporate CEOs and big corporations from the massive tax giveaways that he bestowed upon them to making it more difficult for workers to organize as a union. Stephen Smith, Deputy Director of Public Affairs for the AFL-CIO, told Al Jazeera. In her capacity as Vice President in the Biden administration, Harris spearheaded the White Task Force on worker organizing and empowerment, which aimed to help better communicate workers' rights throughout federal agencies. On the other hand, Trump has been openly hostile towards workers who are pushing for better working conditions. In a recent interview with billionaire supporter Elon Musk on X, the social media platform Musk owns, Trump floated the idea of firing workers who are on strike, which will violate federal labor laws. The claim led the UAW to launch a formal complaint with the National Labor Relations Board to investigate Trump and Musk for interfering with workers' rights. On wages, Harris has said that if elected, she will try to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour, an important issue for workers in the service industry and their respective unions, because the minimum wage has been stuck at $7.25 an hour since 2009. Since then, its purchasing power has declined by almost 30%. And the photograph didn't appear. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump works behind the counter during. Anyway, when he was asked about whether he will raise the minimum wage at a campaign event at the Pennsylvania McDonald's franchise, Trump dodged the question. So Donald Trump was working at McDonald's, I guess. No. In 2020, he said he will prefer minimum wages to be decided by the states. And that's it. It's a pretty long article. I just have no time for this.